Rather sad situation earlier this year concerning, of course, His Royal Highness Prince William, as he was then, and now, of course, the Prince of Wales. It concerned a terrible incident that really been raging on for so many years, but finally he spoke out in its defence, and more importantly, set the record straight about exactly what he felt about this whole distasteful situation. Seemingly, as ever, the memo didn't reach his younger brother, Prince Harry. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil. Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company today. Thank you, by the way, for your very kind comments about our celebrated British hero, Johnny Johnson, George Johnny Johnson from the Dam Busters. I know it was lovely to share it with you. And truly, these are real heroes, aren't they? We hear people whinging on about problems today, and you think, boy, there was a guy that did so much, and even after the war, continued to do so much for so many years, helping so many people throughout his entire life. A lot to learn from people like that. Yes. And my mum and dad, my mum and dad always said to me, look at the people that do good and try and emulate them. And that's something to live by, isn't it? You have to look up to people and think, wow, they truly did something. Back as ever, though, to your breaking royal story of the day. There's a big story looming, of course, now about the, well, the biggest royal story in town, whatever people say, because it's full of inaccuracies, as we now can see, with everything regarding Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. But this particular situation truly did hurt the Prince of Wales, and naturally so, because it all centres upon the fact that Harry continues, in some people's eyes at least, to exploit his late mother's, legacy, not just really by using her pictures and footage, and even the things, as we now know in the trailer, that were completely doctored and unrelatable to their story to try and make it more dramatic, which just proves how dull and boring their story truly is. But of course, Harry knows exactly how to push the buttons to upset his elder brother. And by using this particular footage, which has now apparently been banned forever by the British Broadcasting Corporation, he knew exactly what he was doing. Now, of course, he would say that he was using this to illustrate exactly what happened to his late mother and the sort of form of mind that she was in. But even the BBC, as I said, have basically said that they will never screen this again, and they hope to remove as many elements of this from all streaming sort of platforms. And then, as you know, earlier this year, we had the Prince of Wales, as he then was Prince William, speaking about that particular disgraceful episode regarding, yes, the really undescribable Martin Bashir. So now, because of course Netflix, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle have used that particular footage without permission, are the BBC going to be seeking legal recourse? Well, we put a call into the highest at the BBC, and they claim that no, they won't be pursuing that action. And here's my take on this. Harry and Meghan would know that they wouldn't, because of course it just highlights the fact that what they did 25 years ago was disgraceful. And some might say what Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are doing now is simply disgraceful. So by using it, they can get away with it without actually being sued. Netflix don't have to pay, neither does Prince Harry and the Archwell production team. The only people really paying the price is, of course, his elder brother. And by default, of course, the Princess of Wales, who has to then console her husband over this terrible travesty. One would think, why would Prince Harry wish to illustrate that particular documentary using that particular interview? There must have been many other forms of which he could have used. However, as I say, they both would know that the BBC simply would not hit out at them. And more importantly, it's very dramatic, very dark, and one of the most famous interviews of the last 25 years. Some might say that Harry and Meghan, of course, are simply exploiting his mother's legacy, and by default, the British monarchy. Whichever way you look at it, this particular documentary presses all the right buttons for all the wrong reasons. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.